Hey guys, it's me, and today I'm going to be talking about the most recent OVA that I watched, which was Mikasa's. I've been suffering from major Attack on Titan withdrawal, and I understand why you guys I don't know how you guys did it, like waiting for so long between seasons 1 and 2 and then 2 and 3. Anyway, so I just decided that I was going to watch this one because I just needed a little Eren and Armin and Levi and Mikasa and all those people in my life. So I decided to watch it. Before I do that, I wanted to talk about some things that you might find interesting, such as I am going to be doing my first live chat Saturday at noon, Central Standard Time. So whenever that is for you, that's obviously when I'm going to be doing it. I love interacting with you guys. In fact, like commenting and responding to your comments, that's half the fun. And so I am really excited to do this just so I can interact with you a little more, but I'm also kind of terrified because not this episode, but like this video right now that I'm recording, this is probably like the 5th time I've attempted this because I keep on, there's technical difficulties or I start sounding like an idiot. I'm just re-recording. Be rest assured that when I do my reactions, what you're getting is just unbridled Barry, but I can edit out a fair bit when I do a reaction. So sometimes during a reaction, if I just say something that's really stupid, I'm like, yeah, they don't need to see that. I'm just going to edit that out. But when I do a live chat, it's just me. So, anyway, I hope that you join just because I'd love to hear from you guys. If any of you would like to be monitors, I would love for you to let me know. So you can let me know in the comments below, or you can contact me on Instagram. I do accept messages. So you can, it's just at Barry Reacts, and we can kind of coordinate then how you can be a monitor for this upcoming live chat. Because from what I understand from some people, you can do that, which is great. I don't want this next part of the show ruined. I feel like there's going to be a lot revealed, and I would hate for people to reveal it prematurely. I want to experience the ride. So that's the first thing. Second thing is there is a poll going on my Patreon right now for what show I'm going to watch next. I understand that some of you guys don't have access to Patreon because of the countries you're in, and I'm really sorry, and I'm going to try to find another way that you can have access to vote. Unfortunately, this poll, however, is only available on Patreon. It is not available just to my supporters. It's public, so you can just go on there and vote while you're there. If you want to support me, that'd be great, but it's not essential. For those of you who are kind of thinking about supporting or wondering what the perk is, all the people that support me on Patreon, they get early access to all my content, at least 24 hours, sometimes longer, depending on how long it takes me to make one of these commentary videos. So I understand that some people are having problems with the Google Drive, getting access to those videos because Google Drive only allows so many people to have access to it immediately. So if you support me on Patreon, you're guaranteed access to all my content. So I guess it's a perk. So while you're voting, if you want to then do that, awesome. If not, that's cool too. I don't like keeping my content behind a wall. I like to let that be public so that everyone has access. That's also why I do a bit.ly link, because I understand some people can't have access to Patreon. And so if you're in, say, another country where you can't do Patreon, I still want you to be able to watch. But right now, Samurai Champloo and Death Note are neck and neck. I know a little bit about Death Note because I saw the first episode in 2011. That's 8 years ago. I don't remember a lot about it. I just remember a journal and a creepy dude. That's about it. I know nothing about Samurai Champloo other than the fact that for the longest time I thought it was Samurai Shampoo and I was very confused. So I'm going to be watching whatever wins that poll, and then I'll probably be watching a sampling, another show, just because I've always wanted to know what it's about, and from what the title is, I think it's about something, but I'm positive what I think it's about, it probably isn't. For instance, I thought Attack on Titan was about man versus robots on Saturn's largest moon. Couldn't be farther from what actually is going on. I feel like the show that I'm contemplating sampling, it's really long, so I don't know if I'm going to watch the entire thing, but I kind of want to see what it's about, so we'll see if it's about what I think it's about, which I'm pretty sure it's not. So anyway, those are the two things I want to talk about. My, what was it? Oh, my live chat. And I'll let people know on my live chat what I decide to watch. And then also my poll. The poll ends Friday, so if you want to have a say in what I watch, go and vote. All right, so on to this episode. So this is Mikasa's episode. As many of you know, I don't love Mikasa. I don't hate her. I am not a Mikasa hater. I just think she's not as cool as a character as some of the other females. For instance, I don't really think she holds a candle against Hanji. She just doesn't. Hanji is she's a great fighter, and she's really intelligent, and she's also hilarious. I actually want to know more about Hanji's backstory and her family life and those types of things. I hope that's something that's discussed later. But yeah, I just don't think Mikasa really holds a candle against Hanji or Historia or Annie or Amir. So I came into this episode really hoping for some light to be shed on Mikasa. And I will tell you that there was some light. Maybe not the light that I was expecting, but my perspective of her has changed slightly, but not a ton. So, mainly because I'm a little confused about what was going on in this episode. So perhaps you should watch my reaction before you watch this. So if you haven't watched the reaction, you can find it down in the description box, and then you can obviously watch this. All right, so I assume you've watched that, and so we can talk. So, clearly, I'm not going to say clearly. It's about as clear as mud for me in terms of what has happened. So, the big bulk of this episode, Mikasa has gone back in time. Okay, I don't know whether she's gone back in time literally and she's changed everything, or whether it's just like a temporary thing. This episode is so confusing to me. I don't do super well with, that's not true, but I don't do well with the time travel, but I did fine with Erased. So this one, I'm just unclear of what has happened. For instance, did she really go back in time? Or was this just her thinking about what she, like, almost like her life has flashed before her eyes, and she, like, it's just the life that she would have wanted. I don't know if this is an Ackerman power or whether this is just something else. Either way, this episode is very Eren-centric, and something I got from this is that Mikasa loves Eren. And I'm not going to say she loves him romantically. I mean, I definitely think there's that element, but it seems to be this deeper, like, all-encompassing commitment to Eren, which I still don't understand why she fully has. Okay, I understand given her storyline that we learned earlier on in the series. He saved her life, but in this new storyline where her parents don't die, the moth doesn't get eaten, that the bad guys get eaten by dogs, that somehow she still has this like intense like commitment to Eren. I don't understand why she maybe developed that. Unless maybe the commitment she had for Eren in her actual life kind of bleeds over to this kind of weird overlay that she experiences. So, I don't know. So from my perspective, she, in the moment when she's looking at the pomegranate and she kind of has that blank, like almost like she gives up moment, she actually goes back in time to her childhood, and it's almost an idealized childhood where everything essentially goes right, where her parents don't die, the bad guys get eaten by dogs, the butterfly doesn't get eaten, she still meets Eren, she has a loving family, all that stuff. I did learn that her mom was pregnant when she got killed. Oh, I hadn't thought about that last time, so that was really hard to hear and to realize. But anyway, so she's in her childhood that's very different, and she still experiences, like, she gets to know Eren. I love how there's tidbits of her childhood that in many ways reflect, in terms of mannerism and other things, scenes from earlier on in the show. This is a most notably seen when she's talking to Armin at the end, when Armin is saying, like, I couldn't save him, he died anyway, which, by the way, who lets 9-year-olds build a hot air balloon? Anyway, like, he does the same, like, gripping of his hand, and he's holding his arm, just like he did in the actual, like, earlier on in this series. I did find that really artistically interesting and kind of brings things full circle. So it's clear that she still loses him in this new idealized world, and the mirrored man that seems to be, like, I don't know, like, the connection between the two worlds, saying, like, I'm going to turn this girl into a murderer, which I don't know whether that is, I mean, I guess Mikasa would be a murderer in the current storyline because she's killing, you know, all these titans that were once people, and also she probably killed some of Kenny's people. But he seems to be having this connection between the present and the idealized. And because I guess Mikasa's voice kind of fades in and out over his voice. Still not quite sure what his role is. But when, you know, she is about to stab him, there's the flash of the colossal titan. So it's like something's going on there. And then she finally tries to go get Eren, and she finds out that he dies anyway. So if there's someone who wants to explain it to me in exactly what happened, whether the Mikasa now is actually different than the Mikasa before, that would be great. Or whether she saw her idealized childhood and realized that she lost Eren anyway, and she will always lose him, but she decided to choose the storyline where she was the strongest and so could have him and protect him and have him the longest. So, which, man, you just gotta wonder why she's so, like, committed to him, so much so that she would be willing to surrender her family to then choose a storyline where she's able to be strong and protect him. So, anyway, I don't know. I think maybe because I didn't fully understand what was going on in this episode, it seemed to be the most convoluted of every episode we've seen and of any OVA. So I think that's why I struggled with it a little bit. If I knew more about what was going on, my perspective of Mikasa might have changed a little bit more than it has. Still not my favorite character. I see a little bit more about what makes her tick, I think. But it's still not enough for me to say, yeah, Mikasa, I like her even more. Annie's, that was definitely something where I liked her way more after. I mean, I liked her anyway, but then that episode, that OVA, I got to see like a different side of her that I just really appreciated. So yeah, that is my perspective on this. I thought that really funny that there's like a glowing blue butterfly in this, which there's a glowing blue butterfly in Erased. And so for a second there, I was like, is this a crossover? Which episode what series am I watching? So I wonder if there is a standard kind of butterfly effect symbology that makes me think of Boondock Saints. Symbolism that is found in a lot of anime. Is there any other anime that you know that has a glowing blue butterfly that represents like time travel and butterfly effect? If so, I mean, maybe it's a thing. I don't know. But I did find that interesting that both shows had that. All right. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm sorry that I'm not more like, yes, I love Mikasa. Woo! But I mean, she's just not my fave. That's just the way it is, and I think that's okay. Again, if you would like to join us for the live chat, please do. That would be great. Just because if there's any questions you guys have for me, I'd love to hear them and answer them if I can. Obviously, because some of the people who subscribe to my channel are actually my students, I would prefer if maybe you kept some of the more off-color questions to yourself. I don't know. I probably won't answer some that are really sketchy just because, I don't know, I just don't want that publicly out there. And yeah, and remember to vote, because I want to know what I watch. I actually check the Patreon often just to see like because sometimes it's Death Note, then it's Samurai Champloo, then it's back to Death Note, then it's back to Samurai Champloo. So I want to know which one I'm going to watch. So remember to vote. And like there are other shows that aren't that far behind. I think My Hero Academia used to be much closer behind, but I think it's like in the teens. And so anyway, there it is. All right. So I'm going to go work out and roast a pork loin. All right. Well, I will talk to you later. Bye.